Your Bobcats are ready to return to the court this week. They have an away game on Thursday. Then they're back home at Kokomo High School on Friday. And this is the Bobcast here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. And to my right, like always, is Chandler Levingston Simon. He got to go out to Maryland for the All-Star game and see some family out there as well. Chandler, what was that trip like for you to go out to Maryland?
Oh, it was a good time. I stopped in Atlanta on the way down there. Saw my sister. Flight was delayed, so that was perfect. Then I got to go up and see my daughter in Delaware. Also got to see my cousins in DC. So it was a perfect trip for me. I got to see a lot of family. Got to see some basketball. It was a good time.
So the last time you went away, around family, it was when you guys played at Lake County.
Yeah.
You made a comment about not getting the food you plan on getting while you were there around the family. Did you get the food you expected to get on this trip?
Oh yeah, I got some. The DC Mumbo.
DC Mumbo.
Yeah. Delicious.
You heard about this?
It's a wing. It's like a wing sauce. So it's like probably the equivalent of like Chicago's mild sauce, but like just a slightly different flavor.
I've never heard about this at all.
Yeah, I wasn't with him when he went there. Yeah, that was a solo trip.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get to that in a little bit. And to my left is Corey Boyd. He was in the All-Star game this past weekend of the TBL, and he's here with us for the first time this season on the show. Corey, what was it like playing in the All-Star game?
Intense, more intense than I expected. Usually when you think All-Star, you think fun, but they put money on the table, so I think everybody played like it was a regular game. Like,
okay.
It felt like that kind of stake, like almost felt like a playoff game, honestly. Like I think it was that like intense. Like people was dialed in, people was serious. Had a couple arguments at halftime. Yeah, it was crazy. So it was an intense game. But I had fun though. I think I kind of played a little well, just having more fun. Laid off on the refs a little bit this week. So kudos to me.
Chandler, it's like he listens to the show because that was something I told you it might come up when he comes on the show. It's his interactions with the refs, but laying off on the refs during the All-Star game. I say that's a good thing to kind of do moving forward because it seems like sometimes one bad call and you kind of going after them too much.
Yeah, it's a little something I'm working on, but it just come with like the passion of it. It's just how I express myself.
Yeah.
Not saying it's the best way, but that's just how I go about it and just trying to change every game, every chance I get, something that we work on every day in practice. Him baiting people in practice, so I'm usually one of the top 3 that get baited every day. So just trying to work on that because I get a lot of like things said about me, like when you don't complain, when you just play, you let everything go, you're a way better player than complaining. So I need to, help my team out. So that means stop talking to the rest. Then that's something I gotta really take heed to.
You be baiting him in practice, man?
Everybody.
Oh, everybody. I thought it was just you.
No, I get everybody.
Oh, okay. So you're the bait, but you're trying to bait people, but you get everybody.
Yeah.
He's in the top 3 of the people that get baited the most.
Yeah. Probably him, Barber, and Fudge. It's really sometimes it doesn't have to be much. That's the best part about it.
Yeah. It would be simple as jersey colors. With jerseys here. It could be something simple. We don't do the same drills in a row. It could be something, but it's a work in progress, though. We all trying to get better.
Yeah, sometimes I'll change the rules on the spot.
Oh, you one of those kind of coaches.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not all the time. That's like a rare one when I'm like really trying to get somebody.
Once we start competing and he see the heat of the moment here, But that's how the game goes. The refs see one team doing this, one team doing that, and they'll throw in some stuff. So it helps us, though.
What has it been like being coached by Chandler this year?
For me, it take a lot of pressure off on me. Usually when you go to like a professional team or a certain team, you have like limits.
Yeah.
Like in a certain kind of way, like we brought you in for this. We brought you in for this. You can do this 1 to 2 times, but if you get 1 out of the 2 and it's not good, you can't do it no more. So it's like free basketball. And it's like talking to a big brother.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can come to him. He understands me. Like when I'm frustrated, when I'm, he know how to, hey, or just, let's go, So it's like more so like a big brother mentor type of thing. Like somebody who like just ride the wave, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll be good. So it make it easy on me, but the rest make it hard. So it goes back to being hard. When it's good, I know something gonna happen. But he make it easier for me though.
I've been waiting for people to say something mean whenever I ask them about being coached by you this year. But everyone's, even from the beginning when Fudge and Larry were talking about training camp being easy, but it wasn't them throwing darts at you. It was just like they're prepared for this. They know how to prepare themselves for this. And even Corey talking about first being baited by you in practice, and I think it's a great coaching tactic. Don't get me wrong. I'll joke about it, but I enjoy you doing that. But also just talking about the way you were able to help him play better basketball while juggling all the personalities and all the talent. Like I'm waiting for him to say something mean or like I can't stand that guy. But no, like everything he's saying, I feel like it's real. It's from the heart, and also it helps. It's a big reason why he was an all-star.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically, since I met Corey, it's kind of been our relationship. I mean, because even when because we first met in Canada, he was with me like every day.
Yeah, every day, you know.
We need some stories from that.
Grinding, you know, just practice.
We don't. We don't need any stories from that. But every day.
No, yeah, every day, yeah. We was like that, yeah.
So, and it just was one of those, just like, it was an understanding. Because I think part of it was, I think we're the only two from the Midwest on that team. So we kind of just had it was an understanding of like, you know, Chicago, St. Louis. So you get the other person.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it also too was like, man, I like this. I like playing against you. So like it was a competition. Like it's like, man, I like, you know, we were making each other better. So.
Hey, so Corey, there was a time when Sheen was on the show.
Yep.
Chandler made a comment that you can't back him down.
Well, the Corey can't back me down?
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that.
You didn't say Corey can't?
No. I didn't say can't. No.
I must have misheard that.
No, 'cause
I apologize.
No, because he hit me yesterday. It was a get off me little fella.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. I went to the wall a little bit.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting it, but you know.
He was trying one of them little tactics, you know, trying to keep fouling me. So it was like, all right, I get it now. You know, it was one of those. So just learning, you know, another thing, just helping, you know.
Yeah. No, but I don't even know what I said, but yeah.
I probably just, man, my ears don't work right most of the time. So you probably said it correctly, and I probably heard the wrong thing.
No, I think what I said was it's easier in terms of like if Sheen decides to actually like step through you, it's easier in terms of with Corey because I know where Corey's going.
Okay.
Sheen is just I'm trying to just get through your chest at the basket. Corey, he's sometimes he turned to big jelly. You know, he reverts back to that, and he wants to finesse a little bit. So it's a little bit like I got an understanding of that.
Who do you pattern your game after?
I don't know if I want to say. I'll probably get a lot of flack on it.
No, go ahead.
No,
we want to hear this.
But you know, I might say DeMarcus Cousins. You know, that's probably it. Honestly, that's who I watch a lot before the games.
Okay.
Like I try to watch him just because he was the first one as far as me when I started watching basketball. One that like just kind of played like me.
Yeah.
Like just different style, pushing, being able to do different things. You know, so. That's just me. Other people might say different things, but me, that's why I would watch a lot of DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
I mean, it's interesting too because like I've gotten to see a lot of his development over the past like 5 years.
Yeah.
And I can see some things like that, like because I think when I met him, year 3 or 4 of his basketball career, like professional career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because he was already like by the time I met him, he was what 22?
23.
23, he was already like a 4-year pro.
Oh, no,
wow.
22. Yeah, in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 22 in Canada. Yeah.
He was already like a 4-year pro at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, I've seen the growth and I've seen kind of like where he's going, the trajectory and different things like that. And I definitely see a lot more to DeMarcus Cousins. I know people like to say Zebo, but it's not quite. There's a little bit more, dictating the offense.
I like that.
Like Zebo will dictate the offense, but it's not in the same way DeMarcus does.
He has better. I would say his footwork is closer to DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
and his ability to shoot from the 15 to 18-foot range is more DeMarcus Cousins. Also, it's kind of fun to watch a guy your size try to break a guard down off the dribble and drive past him. You get the ball at the top of the key. You can kind of tell if it's a secondary break, Corey gets that ball. You can have a shooter to your left, somebody cutting to your right, and you're going right where that guy is cutting to try to get to the basket, and it's very successful. But it's kind of nice to see a guy your size have those guard skills and utilize them all the time.
Yeah, it's just something like kind of understanding the game, learning the game, and then like being at my first prep school, that coach just put me through different drills.
Mhm.
It was just like really guard drills. He didn't believe in like a 5-man.
Yeah.
So it was just reading the defense, just having us do certain things. So that just kind of stuck with me. And then once I really took it, I kind of been taking it serious, but that was not really took it serious, like as far as that and just learning those drills. So that's kind of where mostly I got that stuff. So just remembering that and just picking and choosing what I do.
Yeah. What's the basketball scene like at St. Louis?
Man. They might not want to hear it, but it can be so much better. Like St. Louis, I feel like we only support each other when we go away.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like when you in the city, it's like it ain't, he's not nothing. Nobody really wants to come together. Like I feel like the pros that we have, everybody that we have from St. Louis, like our scene should be so much better. Like, but nobody really wants to come together. Everybody wants to like, oh, I did this. I'm the reason why this is going. So I feel like some places in other cities it's so known. Seattle, Chicago, Memphis, Pro-Am is crazy. Just different places they can come together. So St. Louis, we still kind of stuck in like when you hear, oh, it's about me, But like I feel like once we all come together, it'd be way better. Like we got a bunch of pros. Like we got a bunch of pros, bunch of big time basketball players, but nobody comes together. So when they come home, it's like you got to kind of get in the private runs, private pro runs. Like it's like invite only. So I feel like once we all come together and like really try to showcase the talent, it'll just be way better. But until then, it'll kind of be the same. Like this person here, instead of like, when we come back home, let's, make this a big thing where people want to come to. Like our top pros don't want to play in it because it's, I don't want to keep talking about it, but just once we come together and become like one in the basketball like world, it'll be way better. I think St. Louis would be like a big place where people want to come to. Like, yeah, I like playing here because our crowds is crazy. Like how it is.
Yeah.
Like that's how games are. Like it's intense. It's a lot of emotions. A lot of just what I'm saying. Good atmosphere that I think real hoopers want to play in. Like you want to play in that kind of environment because they bring out the best in you. So, but until then, I don't know. It's just kind of gonna be the same.
I'm waiting for you to say something about what he just said about St. Louis basketball because you're from Chicago, you're from the area, and so you know the comparisons. You've heard some things on the basketball while you've been playing about St. Louis basketball compared to Chicago basketball. And I know you got some thoughts in your head. You're just not saying them right now.
No, what he's saying is pretty accurate, though. I mean, from my understanding of St. Louis, because I used to spend a fair amount of time out there as a kid. My dad was born there.
Okay.
So I got a good amount of family that's there, and
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I didn't know
he was born in St. Louis. So like I got a family there. So I used to be in St. Charles like regularly.
Yeah.
So as I said, there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty accurate. I mean, from my understanding, people that I talk to from St. Louis and different things like that, everybody kind of says the same thing. It could be one of those, I guess meccas of basketball.
Yeah.
But they're going to tell you, there's so much talent there. Like I think we had about, when I was at UMKC, we had about 2 or 3 guys from St. Louis.
Okay.
So, that's Missouri, Kansas City. So like it's 2.5 hours, 3.
Yeah, 2. It should be like 2.5. Yeah, UMKC like 2.5.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours away, like on the other side of the state. So, like I said, we had a fair amount. We take trips out there, different stuff like that. It's a lot of good basketball, but it's just not coming together.
Why do you think that's the case?
It's a lot of I's, like not I's, but like I, like the letter I, like I did this, I started this, I'm the one that came up with this idea, like so it's like if you and somebody else, like me and you came up with something, like I said my idea, you said your idea, and it's like we want to do it, but it's like, well, I want to put my name on it. I want to be the one to put it out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, all right, we did this, we go do this, we go, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like everybody just for themselves.
It's hard to come together when you're competing.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like Chicago has its moments.
Yeah.
I mean, specifically, I'll say, you know, the different sides of the city will want to, you know, we're doing something out here, we're doing something out here. When really we could just all come together at some point or another, and it could be some, you know, but there's elements of that in every city.
Yeah.
Have you ever been hit up by anybody on the St. Louis Griffins to play for them since you're in that area? I've been waiting for the right time to bring this up. So I know you haven't played them yet. I know it's coming down the road.
Yeah, I always, you know what I'm saying? Shout out my boy Cam, rookie this year for St. Louis Griffins. You know, he was an all-star too.
Oh, nice.
Been knowing him since AU, since we was younger. But, yeah, you know, I always get to, like, just come back home, you know.
Yeah.
Then when we playing the previous year with them, 2 years ago now, was it 2 years? A year and a half ago now. So, you know, I always get, you know what I'm saying, just come back home, you know, and let's make the run again. But it's a lot of love. I wish them a lot of success. Not more than us, but as far as, you know what I'm saying, just keep pushing the name and getting the name out. But, you know, it's just hard to be in the city.
Yeah.
Like, as far as, like, you know what I'm saying, where I'm from, where I stay, is like something I try to stay away from.
I feel that.
You know, so, but I wish nothing but success for St. Louis Griffins, you know. Again, not more than us, but that the players, you know what I'm saying, everybody, that this be a time where everybody can make a name for themselves, go to places outside the TBL. Like, all of them, they have a lot of great talent, you know. That's why the team has the success they have, but it's just the city part. I just don't like being back home. So,
I feel that.
Yeah.
So why Kokomo? Why have you decided to play for the Bobcats this year?
Just a home feeling. Like, I know everybody here wants the best for me. It's like, it's more than basketball here.
Yeah.
Like, I won't put his name out just because, you know, I don't know how he'll feel. I know he'll probably, I don't know, honestly, but just being in a like exit meeting and seeing somebody cry for you, like having that much passion for you, just like, you know, like, it's more than basketball. It's not like, oh, you basketball player, that's it. Like, they actually care about my well-being. You know, I never got that nowhere. So it was like, that was like a real special feeling for me, like a real, like, that meant a lot to me. I'm not a real big emotional person, but, you know, that almost got me, just seeing somebody like the way you got treated way I got treated made somebody else feel, you know what I'm saying, that. So it just meant a lot. And it's just, I'm always welcome here. Like, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like, I try not to do wrong, but I don't think I can do no wrong in their eyes. You know, I think they always welcome me, like, yeah, we got Corey, we feel good, you know, so you can't beat that feeling. Like, you know, so.
Was it a no-brainer to bring him back this year?
Yeah, I mean, so the one thing that I give Corey a lot of credit on and is the growth.
Mm-hmm.
Always growth. Every time I see him, it's something new added to him. It's something new he's got going on. Because even from that first year, he was kind of the add-on at the end of the season, in year two, and he made an impact. I mean, the one thing I will say is from there, okay, cool. Then I got to see him go overseas. Then he came back, played for St. Louis, led his team, did basically everything under the sun for them. Then he went up to Canada, got to see him, experience that, lead there, come back with us. And it's just different. Like, I got to see a lot of growth in leadership. And that's one thing that we've talked about this year with, is leading and how to lead. Because that's the one thing I've always known he's capable of doing. He's more, Corey a lot of time is, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Come on now, get on board. You see me going. You see me getting in this car. Yeah. You better get in the car with me. I'm leaving in 10 minutes. You will get left. So, like, but, now it's a little bit more of, hey, man, come on. You got 5 minutes. 3. I'm walking out the door. Come on. Let's go.
Oh, yeah,
like it's more of he's, I'm seeing the growth in that.
Yeah.
And, one thing that I knew with the offense that I've put in, it gives him a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
So, and that was, one of those pieces that I was like, well, I'm like, there's a lot of people that can supplement some things, but I know Corey would be really good at this. So it was real simple.
So Corey, he's talked a lot about you and the team and different players this year. I don't know when the last time I had a player give a scouting report for Chandler. What kind of player is he? Outside of being retired, like you could just go ahead and throw that out there. He's a retired basketball player, and that's gonna have a lot of thoughts in people's heads. But what kind of player is Chandler?
Chandler, he was more so like I'm trying to put it in the right words. He's one of those ones like he's one of those glue people. Like you can put him with anybody, put him in any group, and he'll make an impact. Like he can stick with anybody. He can, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't a true five, so he can play different positions. He was gonna do everything. He was gonna rebound. He was gonna talk. He was gonna be energy. He was gonna keep everybody together. He could shoot. Everybody knows he can shoot. He went down the rebound. He guarded. You know what I'm saying? He guarded bigs. That was back when the TBL kind of had more real bigs, I would say. And you can just put him with anybody. And like, I don't think I'm trying to make sure I say everything right. Cause I'm remembering all the games. Like this is me. This is me going back to like all the games playing in my head. Like back to Canada and everything. I don't think. I don't want to make it. He's somebody you'll want on your team. I don't want to make it too complicated. I don't want to like. I don't. But he's somebody that you know what I'm saying. He was big. And he's somebody who's go like start fast. You know how when some teams start slow, like it's somebody like. I think that's kind of why Cliff started him. Like he's not one of those people that's like, the third quarter, okay, I didn't play. Like you know what I'm saying. Like he got his stuff fast. Like of course, with Cliff we had more bigs, so the rotation was kind of quicker. So he knew I got to do this. You know what I'm saying. So. It wasn't somebody that like needed like, all right, second quarter, third quarter, all right, I'm woke, let me, So it was just he played, yeah. He was a good player.
Yeah, but people don't know that. So I used to get in the gym an hour and a half before.
Facts.
I was here at game would start at 7. I got on the floor at 5:30.
Yeah.
That's stuff like when your dad was playing, they did stuff like that.
Yeah, so like that was my thing. Like I get on the floor at 5:30, I'm getting them shots.
Yeah.
I'm by the time I sit down and we've done the stretch and everything like that, and by the time everything happens, it's the third quarter for me.
He was most definitely always the first one there. Yeah. I never made it in the car with him to the game.
He was looking at you saying, "Come on, we gotta go, we gotta go." And he said, "No, Chan, I gotta miss this one."
No, I mean, I think I've been beat to the gym maybe like when I was playing.
Yeah.
10, 12 times.
By who?
Over the whole career though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's just like not here, just probably like the whole year.
Because so my thing was punctuality, and I always knew I had a process of how I wanted to go about stuff. So I always knew I had to. Also, too, I was not the most athletic. Strong is like I'm real strong, but like I was not the most like I'm not going to outjump anybody. I'm not gonna I'm not the quickest, so I have to have everything else has to be on point.
That's where he teaching us all the little kind of like tricks that he had as far as boxing out, how to post up. Like I done learned a lot. Like this helped me about posting up and like post defense. Like it's your position, and then the little tricks that him and Cliff gave me, like how to guard. So they actually both helped me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Him being a player, like as far as on the team, because he knew all the like. It's his dad, so he knew all the little secret, little tangibles to do. Like you know what I'm saying, to stay on the floor, honestly. So it's like you kind of like pick up on certain stuff. Like, all right, let me try to do this. Let me try to do that. And then just him being a coach, like coaching now, it's like, well, and that's why I respect him too. Like he's not one of those coaches like, oh, I played. I don't want to teach you nothing because I don't want you to like feel like that you was better than me. So it's like, like he gives back. So he taught me a lot of little secret stuff. That's another part of like the respect that I respect about him. It's not like he don't have no ego. Like, it's just like I'm gonna give you these keys that I got to help you. Like I want you to succeed. So I give him a big round of applause for that.
Yeah, I mean, I will say you got lucky because I'm not gonna lie, there was a 2-year period before I really took off coaching. I was like, man, I can still do this. Y'all ain't doing this right. Like right when I graduated college, I got a job coaching in my old high school. I had moments like in the gym. I was like, man, these are kids. Like like I had to rein it in. And I'm like, man, I can't. Like I'm only 6-7 years older than these. At that point, I was 24. Some of you guys are 18.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I got to rein it in a little bit. They're kids. I'm like, of course you can still do. You played college basketball. Of course you can do things better than them. Like relax.
Yeah.
And like that helped a lot with getting to that point where I can kind of I was like, you know what, I'm good. I mean, it may not necessarily had the career that I always wanted, and I feel like I could have had, or things shape out different stuff like that, or I knew I could do more.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, man, I got to do some stuff.
Yeah.
And like when you come to terms with like, hey, man, I got to do some stuff. Like you can really be a good coach.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like some guys, like they get like caught in the in like reliving like nah, man, I can still like
glory days.
Sorry, you're 47. The knees ain't kneeing no more.
Yeah, the glory days.
So he's talking about them glory days, man. It makes me wonder what it's like in practice when you're not only baiting Corey and doing stuff, but you do get out there and try to shoot around and do some things like that. Do you ever feel like trying to suit up again and be a player coach?
No.
No?
Yeah. I think he give us one shot, 2 sprints every 2 weeks.
He ain't say a practice every 2 weeks.
Yeah, every 2 weeks. He try to demonstrate something. It ain't often though, but it's you give us 1 or 2 here and there.
I'm like, 20, 30 pounds ago, yeah. Once I put on a little bit of weight and like I really was like, I'm retired. I kid you not. Like once I signed that contract to coach, and then I was like, I'm retired. Like that was my catchphrase.
Oh yeah.
I was hanging out. I was eating. I said, "Oh, you don't want it? I'm retired."
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm going to the gym. Cool. Sound good. I'm retired. I kid you not. That was my catchphrase for a good 6 months until I was like, ooh, your back getting a little big there, my boy. I had to get back in the gym a little bit, like that, tone it out a little bit. But it's a little different. Like I'm not about to sit there and get up and down and do all that stuff. I went to the pack and did. I'll occasionally play like when I'm at home, but I'm not gonna lie. The first 2-3 weeks, knees are screaming, mad at me. My back hurts.
So, Corey, talking about him being a player coach, it's not going to happen. You're a player that coach is, because we heard that you were coaching, helping Fudge out with some of his kids one day recently. It's before the All-Star game that was played, and I heard you got pretty hyped, man.
Yeah, it was. Behind basketball, it's like hard for me to kind of like turn it down.
Yeah.
It's just how I feel about it. It helped me a lot, allowed me to do a lot of things. So I feel like after I play, I really tell people I'm really not good at nothing like besides basketball. So I really kind of just want to transition into coaching. But it was just watching those kids and just seeing, seeing the same passion, them wanting to win, them, and starting so young. I didn't start that young, so it's like I just want to help. And like my sister, she coaches and she talks about how much fun she has, how, she grows a relationship with them, and it's a lot of fun. So I just wanted to try it out, see how it was. And, I went 1-1. The 4th graders, they got some work to do. The 6th graders, they was real fun though. Like it just like I don't think I could have went out there and just like chill, like, oh, I'm too cool. Like
Yeah.
you gotta like give them something, you know what I'm saying? So I think my passion really, you know what I'm saying, helped them out the game that I did. Like, you know, they was like, Fudge said that he got a lot of good compliments.
Good.
You know, so I was all on the court, at half court all the time. Like, I see why coaches don't be in their coaches box.
Oh yeah, I'm never in the coach's box.
Yeah, it's too small. Yeah, I was all, you know what I'm saying, but it was a lot of fun though. Like that was a lot of fun. That was a good experience and kind of gave me like, yeah, there's something I can see myself doing.
Corey love the kids.
He said that, man.
Nah, yeah, nah, for sure.
He said Corey loved the kids. Said that there's times you're out there with the kids, you dunking and stuff and going all crazy. I'm like, man, Corey really showing out. But some guys like not just loving basketball. Like you got a passion for kids, and you said your sister's coaching too.
Yeah.
That's another reason that could be why you are drawn towards the youngsters. But for the sixth grade, man, they just out there having fun. Like it's competitive. Don't get me wrong, but they gonna win or lose. They going out to eat with their friends and have fun. Like it's not like y'all were like this is a profession.
Mm-hmm.
This is for fun for them, and so you having fun with them. I'm sure they're gonna talk about that for the next 3 or 4 years. But we had this big old dude out there coaching. He was going crazy. He couldn't sit down. The coach's box. Man, he said, "Forget that. I'm making my own box," and he was doing all this crazy stuff. I'm sure they love that stuff.
Yeah, especially because I think I went on a school visit that Monday or Tuesday. And I seen the same kids that I was coaching. I seen like 3 at the school, and they was all came up, "What's up, coach?" Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a good feeling, you know what I'm saying? I got to get a win with them, and you got to see them again right at their school, and just seeing the looks on their faces. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, them bragging, like, "Oh, yeah, he coached me this weekend." So that's like a good feeling. And it's like something to be remembered by. Like, I'm not going to be playing in Kokomo forever. So even if they, you know what I'm saying, do see me somehow, some way, or I see them playing somewhere, like, that's something that I can remember. Like, dang, I did win a game with that 6th grade at that one time. You know what I'm saying? So that's just been me since I started being a professional. Like even in Canada, like I did all the school visits. Like, I went basically everyone. Like you know what I'm saying. So it's just something that I always just like doing. Just seeing the smiles on their faces. Like you know, my schools we didn't have that. Like growing up where I came, they wasn't coming to them schools. So you know, so now that I can do it, just always feels good.
Yeah. I mean, it's always one of those things too. It's like I mean, you're seeing it right now in the NBA playoffs with Steph Curry playing against the Rockets. 2 of those guys were in his camp.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, you'd be surprised, like, just, you know, what happens. Like, I mean, I remember coaching Jalen Brunson in the high school kids camp.
Okay.
Because he was in 8th grade when my junior year. So he was his freshman year, he came in, and then he was my point guard my senior year. But the year before, I was like, man, I just – and then now I'm like, you know, it's one of those things. You know, you got potential, but like I ain't know he was gonna be this good.
Yeah.
Like I knew, like, like there's a possibility because everybody has a shot at a certain point, and then it's like life happens. Different things are different. You be put in different circumstances, or choices weren't, and they just doesn't shape out.
So the Bobcats returned to the court this week. We can keep on talking about this the entire time, but returned to the court Thursday. It's Logansport, and then Friday it's back home at Kokomo High School against Lebanon, the Battle of the Belt once again. You played last week. What's
my
up?
bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but can we change the title of Battle of the Belt? Like, it's not a battle if you keep beating a team. Like, if it doesn't go back and forth, I think my last 4 years that I've been here, I've seen the title leave once. So I just want to change. Can it just be a regular game, Kokomo versus Lebanon? It's not really a battle if you continue losing. I just want to put that out there. That's it, though.
So should that belt be moved to the Kokomo and Logansport matchup?
Yeah, but they haven't been in here long enough. They had, you know, as far as starting out, it's okay for a good first year team.
Yeah.
You go have your first year struggles, but down 2 years from now, maybe if they, you know what I'm saying. But right now, they just beat us the last 2. You know, everybody can be beat, which, you know what I'm saying, obviously what happens, every team, no team nowhere has been undefeated forever. So, you know, but I wouldn't say they're like a rivalry either, just because they first year, you know. They won the last 2.
Yeah.
But
rivalries usually take time.
Yeah.
Something has to happen, and then like, oh, maybe the next year, or maybe the year. I mean, there's got to be some brewing underlying dislike. For some time.
They most definitely a dislike team, but they a respected team. No, not just saying that they can't be a rival. But it's just their first year, like, you know.
Takes time.
So yeah, it takes more build up than this year. But Lebanon, I think we just need to have a regular game. Holding the build up gets tiring now. Just think we just need to hang it up. But that's I just had to let that out. I've been wanting to say that for a minute now.
I'm waiting.
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
No comment.
So getting back in the court on Thursday, what excites you about getting the team back together to play?
Like after a long break, it's always fun to get back out there. Plus, I think we owe them one, for sure. We kind of we got away from some things and self-inflicted wounds and stuff. We owe them one.
Corey, you said that you've lost to Logansport 2 times in a row. Both those games were played on the road. And I know the court's different, the lines are different, so I understand like there's some different things even in the structure of the game that is maybe could be a mental block, but at the end of the day, it's still basketball.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to make excuses like, oh, they don't have a real 3-point line. Because if it's easy for them, it's easy for us too.
Right.
So we got to play on the same court they play. It's like not when we go on one side, we had an NBA line and they don't. So I don't want to make that an excuse. It's just we just got to tighten up on things and just not get caught up in our wins. Like we 9-2, we can go 9 and however many games we have left. Like we not guaranteed to win, so we can't overlook certain wins or look like we got this team like, oh, we thought. I can tell, like, from a basketball standpoint, we thought, like, we beat them twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we got to keep respecting everybody. They play us for a reason. They professionals in this league for a reason. Like, you have to go out and prove yourself every game. You have to go out and play every game. No game just because you play, you got these players on your team, you going to win. Like, they want to beat us as much as we want to beat them. So, it's most definitely respect to them, but we most definitely owe them 2. They beat us twice. We most definitely owe them 2 and more, however many times we play. So
3,
yeah. We owe them 3. So, and that's only gonna help us as far as the playoff standings too. So we most definitely can't lay no more eggs between them.
Yeah, that's crazy. 3 more times, 7 times in a year.
Yeah,
That's wild.
NBA teams don't even do that.
No, why didn't? It's a question I've been having for you, and we talk once a week on the show.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure this year the only time you guys play a team not in the division was in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the schedule last year or the year before being the same way where you're playing everybody in your division. Why is that the case this year?
There's less teams in our division this year.
Okay.
They took out Pontiac. Toledo went up to the BSL. Derby City is no longer with us. Medora's not with us anymore, and so is Cincinnati. So that's 5 teams out of our 10.
Okay.
Or 5 teams out of our, I think it was like 9 last year, and then they added 2.
What was the other team?
Derby City.
No.
That was in Kentucky.
The great team.
Cincinnati.
Owensboro.
Owensboro is going too. Owensboro wasn't in last year. They were 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, there's been some shuffle in the Midwest and things like that. So it's kind of made some things scheduling difficult. But I mean, there's been conversations and things like that about bringing other people. I know I talked to the coach from Raleigh. He wanted to come out here at one point, but they were trying to keep, things centralized. I had talked to Potawatomi once or twice, things like that. But that's even though they're technically in our conference, that's an 11-hour drive. So it's not like that's an easy, just like, hey, we're gonna figure, it would probably be, if we did something like that, it'd probably be like, hey, we're gonna go out there and play 2, and then either they would come here and play 2, or we just get them next year and they come to us.
Right.
It'd be something like along those lines, like that'd be our crossover games, or hopefully, we can fill out the conference a little bit more, so we don't have to, play the same teams over and over as much.
Right. Return to the court on Friday. The home court, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Kokomo High School, Hayworth Gymnasium for the home game against Lebanon. I got to think about that because I know it was one time on the show I said the wrong name, and I'm not trying to do that again as far as an opponent. However, what's your last words for the show in regards to getting people out to attend the game Friday night?
Come support. Have a good time. It's going to be a show.
Corey, you got the last word.
Come out support. College basketball's over with. High school basketball over with. We the only ones still playing, so you want to continue to see good basketball, most definitely come and support us. We in Kokomo though, so we a little closer. Little cheaper tickets too. Cheaper tickets most definitely in the playoffs. They doing good right now. Up 2-0, so shout out to them. But cheapest a little ticket though. I mean, tickets are a little cheaper here though. So we got popcorn too. We got hot dogs and everything that you need. So good players too. So you're not really missing too much. So come out and support.
That's Corey Boyd. He is a member of the Bobcats. He was an All-Star, playing in the All-Star game just a week ago. That's Chandler Levingston Simon, the head coach of the team. And guys, this has been the Bobcast. We'll see you next time.